as you can see in the agenda, we will take a look generally to the whole reporting process, and then we will go step by step through the key issues of each of the different elements of the reporting package. We will also provide additional point of attention. We will also talk about the verification that is executed by the Joint Secretariat, and we will give some key information on payments. But first of all, for better organizing our presentation, we need to know our public. So we would like you to please join slido.com. You can also scan this QR code in here just to have a few questions about who you are and if you are lead partner or project partner and your role as in the partner organization, as well as the status of your partner report in case you're working on one. I give you one moment to scan the code. Then I'm gonna change the screen, but you will still have the QR code. One moment, please. So we can see, as expected anyway, that most of you are project partner, but there's a good number of lead partners. Almost everyone has replied, so I think we're going to pass to the second question. So to the question, if you are a project manager, financial manager, or communication, there's a tie, but we have just started. This is important because as we are at the latest stage of the reporting process, it's mainly focused on the point of view of the lead partner, but we will include key information that will be useful for the partners too. So, but just to know how to proceed.
Answers to this question.
Oh, I see 20.
Maybe it speaks to
Okay.
like.
Okay. So then in my computer, I don't know if in yours, but it's like 60% project manager. And the last question. What is the status of your partner report, referring to this reporting period that just ended?
Refresh the presentation.
Yes. Okay. So what is now between control going on draft? There's also some people who have already certified, the expenses certified. Congratulations. Still, we will give information that will be useful for you. So also the controller should know more or less this information, but yeah. Okay. They are good numbers. So thank you very much. I think we can proceed to the presentation. I'm gonna go back to the other sharing. So I'm back to the agenda. If you have any question during the presentation, we will have a question session at the. Sorry, someone has changed the sharing. To that. Now I was saying at the end of the session there will be a session of question and answers. So there, please to have the opportunity to write your questions and also to tell them by talking if you prefer. So let's start. First, a quick reminder of the reporting process of the creation of the reporting package. As you know, each of the partners submits its partner report that includes all the expenditures that have been paid during the period, and also includes some basic information on the performance of the partner during the period. The quantity of information also depends on what your lead partner has asked you for, but for us, simple description was enough. And then we have from on the one hand the information on activities and deliverables that the lead partners gathers all the information for each project report. And on the other side, we have the expenditure certification after the submission of the partner report. So the national controller, if it has been already assigned, I know that it's not the case for all of you, but soon it will be. There's the certification of the expenditures. And then once the expenditures have been certified by the controller submits its control work, and then it generates and attaches to the system the control report and certificate. The LP gathers all the information and puts it all together in the project report. As you know, the quantity of sections of the project report will depend on the period. Right now, for all of you, is the partial reporting, which means that we only ask you for a general overview of the evolution of the project during the period. But then the following period will be full reporting, where you will have to provide more details on each of the elements of the work plan. Once the lead partner will have submitted its project report, they will have to generate and upload in the system a payment claim. We will go through all these details, through all this in detail a bit later. Please remember that the reporting package that includes the project report, the payment claim, all the certificates must be submitted to the GIS approval on time. So you have maximum till the end of the month. The last day of the month is the last day for the submission of the project report with the payment claim.
Just a quick reminder, sorry to interrupt. Please do not use IA tools to record the current seminar. We're recording it. There will be a transcription that will be available. That is because otherwise the data is going in some places we don't have control on. So please don't worry. There will be all information necessary and available afterwards. Thank you.
So thank you very much. As I was saying before, the reporting package includes the project report, the control package, which means all the documents related to the control work, and the payment claim. And also, if there's some expenditure that it's ineligible, the lead partner will submit a report of ineligible expenditures. We will go also in detail over it later. So once the lead partner will have submitted the reporting package on GEMS, then our work will start. We will perform a completeness activities and financial check based on risk analysis and prepare the payment orders. The managing authority will validate the payment orders that will be addressed to the accounting authority, and then the accounting authority will be the one in charge of carrying out the payment directly in favor of each partner. We are paying each of the partners in this program. So here you have a quick overview of the role and responsibility of the lead partners in the reporting process. So basically, to sum up, the lead partner will have to make sure that the expenditures are eligible. They are related to the activities that the partner has carried out during the period, and also that all the documents are available, all the documents related to the control work, all the certificates. Also, it has to make sure that a system to prevent double funding and to identify project expenditures exists for each project partner, and also needs to make sure, of course, that the partner has not spent more than its own budget. In case there have been anomalies, then it will have to inform us, the Joint Secretary, of the anomalies, so we can also intervene on the expenditures during our verification. Here you have also in green, you can see each of the sections on GEMS that are related to each of those duties. So it's a good guide for you to find the information that you need to fulfill any of those responsibilities. So now we will go step by step with all the elements of the reporting package. For the partner report, here we have our colleague Jovia, who's gonna present you the key elements. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Axel. Good morning to everyone. I will talk about the partner report, and we will only focus on the most frequently asked points, and also on the errors we found for the first reporting period of the governance project. So we want to give you feedback already. First of all, I want to highlight that we have a guidance on this reporting process, which is available on the program's website. So if you missed some information, you can also look up in this document if you have doubts how to handle the reporting in GEMS in general. So the first point, we had a lot of questions what to do with the supporting documents for an expenditure. In GEMS, it is possible to add one attachment to each expenditure. As you can see on the slide, there is an attachment column where you can upload the attachment. It should be only one PDF file or one zip file where you can arrange all the documents. So it is very useful for the controller if you upload that, but it's up to them if they want it see it here, or they want to that you send it in another way. But as we see that you use this functionality, so be aware that only one document can be uploaded here. And first you have to save this expenditure, and then later you can upload the attachment. So this is a speciality of GEMS, and otherwise it won't be saved. So please be aware of this point. And so you can make the attachment here next to the expenditure, but we want to ask you that the task assignment document for staff cost to be uploaded to the partner details in another section of GEMS. So it would ease our verification in the GS if not every tax assignment document is in attachment. You can find it separately also in the partner details. You can choose to upload on both storage place, but please be aware that the tax assignment document is an exception of this. This is mandatory to upload to the partner details section of GEMS. Moving on, this is especially interesting to the call 2, who has the investment in the project budgeted. So this slide concerns only the test project of this second call, but it's important to say that every expenditure which is related to an investment, you should select the investment in the drop-off menu of the list of expenditures in GEMS. So the investment number which appears, this is the same that you filled in the work package section. So please be aware. You will see all the investments related to the project. So every partner should choose the investment number which refer of them investment. So this is a point of attention. And also I would like to point out that all documents related to an investment and next to the expenditure, such as agreements with the landowner or some environmental studies, if required, must be uploaded in the section Application Annex Investment Documentation. So it's not the place here next to the expenditure because it concerns the investment in totality. So please, this type of document, upload these documents in the Application Annex Investment Documentation. It should be complete in order to the expenditure related to an investment become eligible. So before you start to report expenditure related to an investment, make sure that every obligation is fulfilled by your side. The list of the obligation was communicated during the pre-contracting phase.
If I may add,
Yes.
Concerning the attachments, this doesn't exclude the possibility that your controller or your national authority might ask you to add also some document related to an investment directly in the attachments of the expenditures. This is totally independent, but for us, for the interest of the program, we ask you to add this documentation to this investment documentation section that is in the application form, and then you have like some kind of folder, one folder by each of the expenditures that you have included in your work plan. Thank
you. We fill out these expenditures data in GEMS, and we talk about staff cost. It's a bit tricky, but we have some recommendation. I don't know how well you see the column of the presentation, but I will go and I will tell by each column what you should fill in or what is our recommendation. So especially tricky for staff cost. Invoice number, for instance, it's up to you. For us, it's not important what you fill in. It's up to you what you use it. In the example which is shown, there was no investment number given. It's also a method we can accept. So this is really up to you. But invoice date, this is more important, that we suggest you to put the last day of the period covered for the invoice date. For example, expenditure refers to month January to June, then you should put the last day of June, the 3rd June, in this field. Okay, another frequently asked question: what to put to the date of payment in case we have staff cost reported. There we recommend you to put the last payment date related to the expenditures. And this is also a point of attention that this date should not to be later than the end of the period, otherwise it is not eligible. So at the description field, please include the staff member name, the month it's covered, and the percentage you used for calculating the eligible staff cost. And our recommendation is that for one period you can use one lien per staff member per period. But if your controller want you to fill per month, for us it is also acceptable. So please refer to your national controller for more guidance on this question. After, for the total invoice value, we ask you to put the total of the expenditure incurred for the period. The VAT it's 0, it's logical, and the declared amount, it should be the total expenditure incurred multiplied with the percentage of the staff member working time allocated to the project in accordance with the task assignment. So please be aware of this. And now we move on a little bit with our feedback, what we saw in the reports already verified by us. This point, the first point, is a new element in the Euromed program. So the percentage allocated to the project by each staff member cannot be changed during the period. And we take it very seriously, so please you do too. In any case, if there was a change from one month to another during a period, the percentage reported should reflect the average work time of the employee along the period. So this is an option to if you have to recalculate your percentage at the end of the reporting period. But you should always have the task assignment document updated to the percentage you use for the reporting. So, and since we have expenditure reported, staff cost reported in one line for a whole period, but sometimes some people started later than the period, or they, for some reason, they finished their work before the period ended. So please please give us to the description field always the month which is covered by the reported staff cost, because this helps us to follow the staff of the project partners. It's an experience that in our side the internal reference number it's not readable. So please do not use it for a lot of information, because we cannot read it well. This is just a speciality of GEMS. And in this period, we only have one method for calculating the eligible staff cost, so it's no need to add this information to the description. Everyone is using the fixed percentage methodology. And I move on. That was enough for the staff cost. We will not. No. And we will proceed. We will not proceed by each cost category. We just highlight the main points. So that's why we are jumping direct to the external contracts. So what we should know that for every expenditure, which was externalized, not made by the staff, each project partner must create the corresponding external contract in a dedicated tab in GEMS. This is what you see on the slide. Add contract, this is the name of the button. And this you should do it before you make your expenditure in the list of expenditures, because after you have to link the expenditure to this contract you upload in this section. So the expenditure later on must be linked to the corresponding external contract. And this is a point very important, so please be aware that if there is a contract signed that if this contract exists, then you should add it here. Okay. So the next slide, also some feedback from our side. The contract must be reported only once. So when you report the first expenditure related to a contract, then you do this reporting as I said before. And when already a contract is created in GEMS, it will be included automatically in the following partner report. So in the next report, you can use what you already filled in this section. It is mandatory to provide the beneficial owner data of each contractor. This is an obligation from the regulation, and the data required are the first name, last name, date of birth, and what number of the beneficial owners. Then it's also mandatory to report subcontracts if existing. In this field, you should enter the contract name, the reference number, the amount, supplier name, and its what number. And our recommendation, so if there was no contract being signed for an external expenditure, you can indicate this fact in the description field, so you can avoid that the GS ask on these questions, because if there is no contract, we are not sure this is because there wasn't any contract signed, or it's just a mistake that you didn't you forget to upload it to GEMS. So it's better if you precise it during you make the description of the expenditure. Okay. Voice up. Good. Yeah, moving on. I see that we have questions and hand raised. Maybe we can answer it at the end of my section.
Maybe we will.
Yes, this is the colleagues.
As we are having a few of them, yeah, let's go with them once we will finish with the partner report.
Yes, because now I'm at the end of the partner report section, and before I move on to the control package, now we answer the question.
Okay.
Judith.
I'm ready. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna read the question now and maybe talk to the hand raised. So the first one is an easy yes or no question. Do we have to sign the payment claim?
No,
No.
no,
No.
no, thank you. We don't want you to sign, but we really, what Axel highlighted in the beginning of the presentation, the obligation of the lead partners, it concerns what concerns the payment claim. So even if you don't sign it, we want you to be sure that you made this verification and only eligible expenditure are submitted to the GS in the project report.
Okay, second question is, if we have contracts for each staff member, which I hope you do we still have to fill the task assignment documents?
Yes. Yes, if all the information which we require in the task assignment document is included in your employee's contract, then you are not obliged, but you have to be aware that every information is in the contracting documents that we require. And most of the time it's not the case. You have the template strict, so that's why we prepare this mandatory annex.
Let's say that we are not requiring the contract of this staff, but we only require this the presentation of this task assignment that has to be included in the partner details section. Then, of course, if your controller requires it, then you will have to include the contract attached to the expenditure itself. But for us, we need the task assignment.
Okay, we've got another question still about the task assignment template, sorry. Can you please clarify if it can be changed at the end of the partial reporting period, 6 months, or if they should wait a full reporting period, 12 months?
Here, there's an important point. The difference between full and partial reporting only concerns the lead partner and the project report and the activity content. So it has nothing to do with the expenditures. The obligations are always the same throughout the life of the project, independently of full or partial reporting. So as we have said, the task assignment covers at least one period, and that's independent of partial or full.
Yes, thank you. Then we've got 3 questions around the attachments, and especially the attachments regarding the staff task assignment template, the staff cost, sorry. So the first one is, which attachment do we need to upload to justify the staff costs? The second, that is a bit the same, is it mandatory to attach payslips, contracts, and other personal information of the staff? And last but not least, are personal data protected if we post a payslip in this space, in GEMS as attachments?
So,
Which attachments?
well, attachments, they are defined by they are defined at a national level, the audit trail. So the attachments that are linked to each of its expenditure. So you must ask your national controller for the documents that it needs to in order to validate the expenditures, and if he or she needs them to be on GEMS. But this is not defined at a program level. It's only defined at a national level. So they are the people who chooses the documents to be included. Concerning personal information, personal data, there's this option called sensitive data. So for some expenditures, you can restrict the access to some of the information. Now I'm telling by memory, but I think they are the attachments and the description. The description. So these documents, this information can be restricted to some members of your organization. This is chosen in the project privileges section on GEMS. The lead partner will assign the members of your partner organization who can have access to these specific sections of the staff costs. However, the information, of course, it's available always for the lead partner and for the program authorities because it's part of our duties, so we cannot hide it. But you can select the members of organization who can have access to the attachments of the expenditures.
Button in the list of expenditure, and you can activate this function.
Yeah. But please, if you're interested in this functionality and you have not configured it before, please contact your lead partner. That hopefully is also listening to this presentation, so they will know it too. Thank you.
Okay, quite a few other questions. If we have already signed a contract, but we will have the expense in the next period, when should the contract be entered in GEMS?
Thank you for the question. It's we only required to enter this contract when you report expenditure related to this contract. So in your case, it's the next reporting period.
Okay, regarding the reporting of external expenses, a partner is issuing its invoice this September for services providing during the period 1, so January to June. Should it be reported in period 1, invoice dated from September?
No, it has to be reported in the following period because it's when the payment takes place.
Okay, one question about the beneficiary owners of the contractor. We have to put the first and last name, date of birth, and VAT number. We have the case our beneficiary has many owners, also organizations, has also several owners. How deep we have to go to search for the person owner if there are so many levels and many owners?
You should go to the it's described in the regulation, but you should enter only natural person. So when the owner is a company, you should go further until you don't find a natural person who owns this enterprise. Yes, you should go sometimes very deep.
The system allows to include several owners, so the option exists on the system.
But we are required only the owner who has more than 25% of what?
Like of the assets of the private organization.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, one person would like to know again where to upload the staff task assignment template.
Yes.
And what about the auditor's fees? So I guess we're talking about the national controller. Shall we include them as extra fees?
So for the first question, we ask you to upload all the time for every case in the section partner details in GEMS, the task assignment document. And for the second question, the controller fees, yes, it should. If you had to pay for it, then you will have an invoice, and you should add this invoice to the list of expenditure. So it's not an extra fee, I guess, but this is an invoice. This is you budgeted in your budget, so and then you report as an invoice this expenditure.
And include the contract in the contract section too.
Yes. One important question you may cover later, but does travel cost cover both the travel expenses of the staff and external experts?
And it depends on what type of how do you report travel costs? If it's flat rate, then the staff, it's not expenditure for reporting, it's covered by the flat rate. But when it's real cost, you should be able to divide this expenditure, this cost, which concern the staff, which concern your staff working on the project, it goes to the cost category travel and accommodation, and the external expertise goes to the external expertise cost category. So you should divide it.
So one question from a lead partner. We are leaders and we were going to start the certification process. How long do we have to wait for the partner to do their certification? We thought the deadline for partner certification was over.
There's no deadline whatsoever, at least defined at a program level for the certification of the partners. We have the deadline for the presentation of the reporting package, and then it's an internal matter, the calendar for the declaration of the expenditures and the certification of the expenditures of the project partners. So it's for the lead partner to define it, of course, with agreement with all the partnership. And it also depends because not all, for partners from Spain and Portugal, for example, there's an extra step of validation, so they should try to finish a bit early. But anyway, we don't impose any date at program level. Thank you.
One question about contracts. Are there exceptions to the rule of the contract related to external services? For example, external services related to accommodation and meals needed during some events. Is it mandatory, the contract also in this case? I would sum up, because we have the case often, is there always a contract with any external expertise service expenditure?
I mean, if there's a contract, an external contract, you will have to report. If you have gone to the shop and bought some food and you have the ticket of that food, you include the expenditure, but you don't include a contract. So for example, also for example, for the travel expenses of associated partners, it is paid through an agency with which you have a contract, and then you will have to include that contract. So it depends on what is the expenditure attached to. If it's related to a contract, you include the contract. If there's only a bill, there's no need to.
Okay, one question on project report. If it's not the
For project
project report, they will talk about it a bit later on, so we're gonna save this question. Maybe they will answer your question during their presentation. So
we should sum up. So
yes, partner reports. Each anywhere September, every report.
Okay, the other one I've not read them yet, so I'm gonna discover them with you. We do not plan to submit a cost statement in September, since during the first period of the program we were not able to make any actual payments for our staff cost and travel that have occurred during this period due to the delayed signed contract that prohibited any financial transaction. All this will be claimed during the following reporting period. Indeed, in this case, do we have to submit a financial report with a single entry of the preparation cost?
The preparation costs are automatically activated. The payment is automatically activated, so you don't need to report them in a partner report. In the moment in which the project signs the contract, we activate the payment procedure, and then we send an order to the accounting authority, who is the organization in charge of the body in charge of the payment of the expenditures to the partner, and also to the preparation costs. And we have two people who raised their hands at the very beginning. They have been waiting, but maybe they should be the last think the last questions. Don't know.
Okay.
So let them talk maybe. Blas, I think you are the first
Yes,
one.
thank you very much. It was very helpful. I think you already partially answered this my question. We have some partners that will probably not be able to gather certification costs until the end of the month. So when we, as a lead partner of the Bono project, will prepare this progress report. So we should wait maybe. Could we wait after the end of this, September to get these certificates? Probably. This is the question.
Well, we have the deadline of the end of September.
Yeah.
Whatever doesn't arrive, we'll have to wait for the following
Yes.
reporting period.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course, I take the opportunity to say, if in case there were doubts, if you have expenditures from a previous reporting period, you can always add them in your current
Yes.
reporting
Okay.
period.
Yes. Thank you.
Welcome. And also, there was a second one by Pre-Drag.
Yes, thank you. Regards to all, thank you for this training. The first question was related to the data about contracting for contracting table in the report. So if we are contract the company, not the natural person. So the question is but you partially answered that the name and surname of the director representative, I suppose, should be entered, and the VIT number, it must be from the company VIT number, not for the personal VIT if they have at all, I suppose.
Okay, I will answer.
Because they're not obliged to have the VIT number if they are not making their own personal income. If they are director of the company, they need to have the VIT number of the company, not their personal one. In our country, Montenegro. So it's confusing a little bit.
The contract here.
Here, next. Okay, yes, we can back to the slide also, so
Yes.
I go on again. So we have to collect the beneficial owner data of each contractor. So what I said, you should find the beneficial owner who should be a natural person. That's
It's
why
fine. Name and surname, we can find that, but we cannot find VIT of the person if they don't have it, because they're registered like a company, not like a natural person.
Yes, but you should find a natural person who owns this company, and you
Yes,
should enter the data of this person, and each person has a VAT number as well.
no, in our country, no.
Okay.
You are obliged to have VAT number if you're making profit more than 30,000 per year extra of your salary. So if they are not registered, but it is completely different entity than legal entity. If that person can have, for example, the extra job apart of the company and registered for that, it is separate VAT account. It's not connected at all with the company what he owns.
Okay, it's a very specific question, so please, I ask you to send it in writing to our email address, and we will answer to you directly, because doesn't concern all of the participants. So if you don't mind, we will answer it later on.
Yeah, because in the topic, in the next for data related to subcontractors, it is contract name, reference number, supplier name, VIT number of the company.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, so that should be for me similar
It's
for
not
the legal entity if they are contracted, not a natural person, if the company. But okay, well, I'll ask officially and
yeah, thank you very much, because
And the second question, sorry, it is just for but I think it's also partially answered. if we, like a lead partner, do not receive the partner reports certified at the end of this September, so we will submit the project report without those inputs from the partners, I suppose.
Exactly.
And we will
Yes.
include them next period.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Only because this is a question that has arrived quite often, it comes to my mind. If you are not declaring expenditures, you don't have to submit a partner report. And you actually cannot, because the system doesn't allow you, if there's no expenditures in that report, to submit it. You can create a draft version in case you want your lead partner to take a look at information, or in case you want to start filling the report with expenditures with time. But you cannot submit a report without declaring expenditures. Not
Thank you.
requested.
Okay, we have another hand raised.
The-
Ivana, the last one for this section, and then you will have also a point at the end of the presentation to ask question.
Hello to everyone. I have a few questions regarding the dates in the list of expenditures. There are two dates, invoice date and date of payment. For example, for this period, we are reporting 4 salaries. And what dates should be put as a first, as an invoice date and date of payment? You mentioned the last date of June, but I don't understand well.
Okay, can we come back to the slide, please? Where we talking about the date of the staff cost?
Let me.
Yes, the invoice number, the invoice date should be referred the last date of the period you report. So for you, if I understand it well, it's 4 months. So the last date of the 4 month. we
Of
should
the
enter.
fourth of the last month
Yeah.
that we're reporting, and date of payment.
Date of payment is the last payment you made for this, for the cost incurred. So this is what you know when the last payment was done. This is the date of payment.
The last date when we paid
The last
the
payment.
salary. The last
Yes,
salary that was paid
yes, for the
Okay.
last month, yes.
for
Yes.
the last month. Okay, and internal reference number, what should we put?
It's for us, it's internal, it's for you. For us, it's up to you. We don't need any information there. It's for you.
I probably I think that should be the number of the contract for every employer, for every person that is in the staff.
Yes, here you can enter your internal reference number. So for you is the number of the contract, and you can enter it, and then it will be easy for you to find the documents in case of on the spot visit, for
Okay.
instance.
And regarding the task assignment, you mentioned a couple of times, the task assignment should be placed here in attachment. For example, in one line, there is a salary for one person and documents for that person for the period we are reporting. Task assignment should be uploaded together with that documents for one person or in partner detail.
So for us, for the program, you have to put it always in the partner details section. And also, if requested by your national controller, you can also attach it to the expenditure line.
Okay, and
It will depend on what the national authority requires. But for us, always in the partner details section is the minimum. Let's say.
okay, and in the partner detail part, there is information for bank details and location of documents. Here we
Yes.
should put what
Yeah.
does it mean, location of documents? Title, first name, last name. Here is, for example, for one person, we are three staff people in the project.
Location of documents refers where in your office where you have all the documents, where you in the original version where do you have in your office. So it can be your office or it can be the office of your account company. It depends on you, but we have to know where are the original documents in case we want to do on the spot visit control. So this is referring this information only for this, that you should provide information where you have the original documents.
So title, we should put the location, for example, our office, and the first name, last name, the name of the project manager, or?
No, I mean, the thing is, you have to put your beneficial owner if you are a private partner. You have to put your beneficial owner as in the same way that we were asking for the beneficial owner of the contracts. And you have to put the bank details of your organization.
Yes,
Or
yes,
for the
we
payment,
put it
and
by
then
part.
and then in the attachment sections, that is right at the bottom of this
Okay.
partner detail section, you attach the task assignment. But the rest of the sections of these partner details are not related to the staff member. It's just that it was a very nice section in order to gather the documentation related to the partner. So that's why we are asking you to include all your task assignment documents in the attachments part of the partner details.
Okay, so the part location of documents with all these questions should not be filled, only the part attachments to upload the files.
No,
It's important.
you have to fill the location of documents and the bank details.
Yes,
of
the bank
your
details will appear,
organization.
but we are not
And-
sure
and if
what
you
should
are-
be put in location of documents.
Yeah,
It's
your
not so
office.
clear.
Your office where you keep the
Okay.
originals. And then if
Okay.
you are private, then you have to fill also the beneficial owners section at the top of the
Okay.
section.
So in attachments for because we are three staff people, we uploaded the file for all the three task
Exactly.
assignments. Okay.
Yes. Per staff
Thank you.
member, yes.
And
And
update it
one
every period.
question regarding the travel costs. Should be they reported with the documents?
Travel
Okay.
costs.
Yes.
Yeah, travel costs. Well, depends on what you choose. If you chose like real costs, then you have to do it as any
No,
other.
they're flat rate.
They're flat rate, so then you don't have to attach anything at all to the expenditure because you don't have to declare anything. It's calculated automatically
Automatically. Okay.
based on
Okay,
the stuff that you declare.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Okay, there was a question, can we repeat that, what you mean by investment number? Yes, I would like to tell you that in the application form, yes, here is the already, thank you, Excel. In the application form, in the working package section, if your project has an investment, there you had to list the investment. So, and every investment has a number, and so you can verify in the application form which investment has which number allocated. Okay, so we knew it that we have a lot of questions, but we also want to move on. So if you don't mind, we are moving on, and at the end of the presentation, we will come back with the questions. We are available, so don't worry if we didn't answer yet your question, we will do it later on. So for the control package, just a short overview what we understood under this control package expression. So basically it means here you see the schema of the complete control package. it is mandatory for the validation of the report that you have one control checklist finalized by the national controller. In case there was the new external contract reported, the external contract checklist are filled and finalized by the national controller, and the control certificate and report signed by the national controller. This is what the lead partner should check before it submits the project report to the GS. So this is a bare minimum it should include it. And for partners from Spain and Portugal, the level of verification is there are two levels of verification. So the first level is the same as the other countries. So the national controller do the control checklist, the external contract checklist, and the control certificate and report. But for these partners, we have a member state checklist in additionally, and the member state control report. This document should be also mandatory. So without this document, the partner report is not eligible. We cannot accept it. So how to identify this checklist in GEMS? These three type of checklists are displayed in this drop-off menu. So this is the controller who has to choose the good one for the verification. So the basic checklist is the control checklist. It has a question for all the report package. Then the external contract checklist, it refers to the external contract, and the member state checklist, it's only used by the Spanish and Portugal national controllers, which are not the national controller, which are the controllers of the national authority. So spoken.
Mhm.
So why do we show you this checklist? Because for the lead partners, we asked them also. I refer to the one of the first slides that was presented by AXA, that we have to. The lead partner must also ensure that for the first two questions of the control checklist, there is a description provided by the national controllers. Here they have to describe how the accounting system functioning, how the separating of the expenditure is done in the accounting system of the partner, and the second question concerns the double financing. How, with what measure is it ensured that the double financing is excluded? So if the answer of this one of the two questions is no, the partner report isn't eligible at all. If the answer is yes, so the controller checked it and has the proof, but there isn't justification provided. So as you see, there is a text field which should be filled in, and in the case it's not provided, the partner report is not eligible. So this is the point of attention where the lease partner can already check if it's correct or not, and make the corrective measures before submitted the project report to the GS.
If I may,
Yes.
if now you realize, because I know that some of you have already certified their expenditures, if you check and then you see that those questions had not been filled, that an answer has not been provided for the two first questions of the control checklist, don't panic. The lead partner can still include the certificate in the project report, but then we will ask for the answer to those questions. Because an important point of the of any control checklist is that once the control has been submitted, even if we were reopening the control package, the control checklist cannot be reopened. So it's definitive. You can create a new checklist, of course. You can clonate the checklist and create like another one with the same information and then add some information if you want. But one checklist, once you finished it and the controller submits the control work, then it cannot be reopened. So just know that we will also check this. This has to be checked by the lead partner too. And if we check it and we see that there are no replies to those questions, we will ask for that reply.
Okay, thank you, Axel. We move on. So the second document, so we saw the checklist. What is
Sorry, can I interrupt?
Okay,
Related to those checklists, I just checked with our partner report, and there is just one certificate issued by the national controller. There is no mentioned anything about this topics accounting system, as I can see now.
Sorry, in which section are you of the control?
Of the
Because-
control.
There's a section that is control checklists. You will see it only. You will only see it if the control has been finalized by the
Yeah, I can
controller.
see now. Sorry. There was no control checklist. There are two checklists, for example.
Yeah,
You
this
should.
is what I'm gonna explain now. Yes.
Yeah, okay. External contract and control checklist. Okay, there's both there. Sorry. Thank you.
okay, so these are the three type of checklist we are using. Very good that you verified.
Oh, an important thing of the checklist of the external contract. Well, there's one for every new external contract. So if the contract goes in different periods, you don't have to make a checklist all the time. The controller doesn't have to make a checklist all the time, only when it is introduced. And we ask you to put the contract ID, because when you create a contract in the contract section, it has an ID in the comment field, so we can identify it. Even if you check it now and you see that there's no contract ID in the comment field, it still can be added afterwards. Even after submission of the checklist, you can change the description and add the ID of the contract. So that would be very useful for us, so we can identify the contract that this checklist is talking about. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, and when the controller finalized the checklist, even it can be 1, 2, 3, it can be various number of checklists, then the controller will finalize the control work and will issue the control report and certificate. This is the view of the controller when he generates the control report and certificate. In this section, we have also two types. One is for every national controller, the control report and certificate, and for the Spanish and Portugal partner, we have the partner state control report, which will be issued by the national authority. So, and what you should check to be administratively to be accepted is that the control report and certificate is based on a control finalized, which you can see in the middle of this slide. You see control report and certificate, control finalized, which is very important that it is finalized. And this report should be signed by the controller. It can be a hand signature or it can be an electronic signature as well. But it's very important that it's the control report based on a control finalized. Okay, this is what you can check at the computer. Okay.
Also, if you create the certificate and it's in draft, sorry, the controller can always generate a new certificate after submission of the control work in status finalized. So if now the lead partner, you check the certificate and sees that it says control draft, he just talks with the controller, and the controller can generate a new certificate that will have, if the control has been submitted, will have the status control finalized.
Thank you. Yeah, they are very hot top tips from Axel. I like them too. So my last slide on the control package is that how you can check, where you can check that the control checklist is finalized. Here you can see on this small image that the control checklist is in status of finished. So this should be done before the controller generate the control report and certificate. And this is a point of attention. Even if we have the possibility to reopen a control work, it won't be allowed to reopen the control checklist. So if there is an issue avec the control checklist, it should be always redone if the control work was finalized and the report was generated. So it's a bit tricky, but we hope if you pay attention, we can avoid reopening the reports, because it takes a lot of time and resource on our side too. So we aim to ease the verification with this session also, so you can pay attention on this point. So this is more for the controllers, but for your information also, that in case there was a risk-based sampling methodology used by the controller, it's happening in some countries in the program area. There, even if but in most of the countries we don't use this sampling method, so the controllers check 100% of the expenditure reported. Then the controller should tick every check the expenditure as part of the sample. Otherwise, the control report may contain some discrepancies. So please inform also your controller if he checked all the expenditure, then he should select as part of sample every expenditure in GEMS in the list of expenditure section. So as we told, we have the possibility GS to reopen finalized control work, but only in justified reason. And there is also a point of attention. It is only possible to reopen a control work if the certificate has not been included in a project report. So this is also to be checked. Everything is in order before you integrate the partner certificate to the project report. So that was from my side, control report, and I give the floor to Axel to sum up with the project reporting.
Okay, as we are having plenty of questions on control, we will try to solve some of them before going to the project report. Not all of them, because then there will be also a final question and answer time, but maybe as it's a hot topic, maybe it's nice to go a bit with a few of them.
Okay, can you please help us?
Yeah. There's some questions that were remaining from that came back on staff cost also. For the total invoice value, is the total expenditure of the staff member in that period for the entity, and the declared amount is the total invoice value multiplied by the percentage in the task assignment. Okay.
Yes, this will be the declared amount, yes. The total cost incurred multiplied with the percentage used for the period. And we have also, I see a question, our organization is currently using timesheets as working time registration system. How can the timesheet system be made consistent with the fixed monthly percentage of the assignment method? We only can recommend one solution, that you calculate the average time allocated to the project at the end of the period, and you, in this exceptional case, you fill in the task assignment document at the end of the reporting period. So this is the only way we can handle it, and that's the way how we can accept it.
Two questions again on staff cost. Is it only the legal representative that can sign the staff task assignment template, or can they be signed by the general director?
It depends on the internally regulation of the entity, so we cannot answer it that for sure. Ask your responsible of it in your organization. To for us, it's not determined by us.
Someone in charge.
Someone in charge of the staff,
Uh,
not necessarily the legal
same-
representative.
the same person who has the right to sign the working contract, because he has the same authority, but you should check it in your internal regulation to be sure.
Regarding staff cost, can I indicate the months instead of the invoice number and attach all the pay slip combined in a single attachment for each person?
If you make only one line for one staff member per period, then yes, you can make a PDF file with all pay slips for all amount which is covered with this one line. Yes, it's acceptable for us, for our side, but check it with your controller also, how you prefer to see it.
And last on staff cost, is it possible to declare less staff costs than the percentage of the assignment templates?
I don't really understand the question. If there is a percentage allocated to the project, then this is the percentage you should report. So can you maybe define your question?
Maybe the person who has sent it can talk.
Angelica Mazina, if you want to state your question.
Yes, thank you. The question is about the assignment because we, in our case, assigned a percentage for each staff member. But of course, during the project implementation, some member worked less than the assigned percentage. So we should declare real costs or adjust the task assignment to make the two numbers compliant. Thank you.
Okay. And how do you know that they work less? You have a timesheet for this staff
Yes,
member?
yes,
That's
this is the reason why, because we have several European projects, and so we have to be on a real cost basis.
okay. So yes, I come back what I said earlier. In this case, you have the possibility to recalculate this percentage at the end of the period based on the actual work done by your member state to the project. So you can change the percentage on your task assignment document. So it is it will be coherent with the reported amount.
Okay, thank you.
Please provide a new task assignment with a new with the percentage that really reflects the time that this staff member has worked.
Thank you.
One last on staff cost. Could you confirm that only the cost paid during the reporting period will be accepted? For instance, wage of June paid in July, can it be claimed during period one?
So we confirm that yes, every expenditure should be paid during the period. So in this case, you should report your cost in the next reporting period if it was paid in July and the report ended end of June. Okay.
Two questions on national controller. Is there a model for the contract between partners and its national controller? And second question, how to download the national control certificate from JENS?
So there's no model itself. Maybe you can ask your national authority, maybe they have something related to that, but we don't provide any model for a contract. But please ask your national authority. And for the second question, is what this slide shows. So you go to the overview. So the controller, this is all the time. This is always the controller who must do all this. The controller goes to the overview and finalize section. Then it finalizes the control. If he or she has finalized his or her control and has already created and finished the checklists, then it finalizes the control, and then there's this part at the bottom of the section called Generate Control Certificate and Report. As you can see here, it clicks in a drop-down menu and then selects the control report and certificate, and then it clicks on Generate Document. It will appear there, and then you have it there. And if you look to the right, there's actions, and the controller can download the PDF with the report and certificate. Then it signs it, and then attach it again in the same section, in the same line, just clicking on the other arrow that goes upwards to the right. And then the the attachment will appear next to that line. So everything, the downloading of the document and the attachment of the signed version is done in the same area, the bottom of the overview and finalize section of the control board.
Good job. One question again about reopening for the justified reason. If the national controller has issued the certificate, but the external controller checklist is missing, can we ask the GS to reopen the finalized control work to include the missing checklists?
Yes, you can. But I mean, you have to control. You have to inform your lead partner. That has to inform us, because the lead partner must always be aware of all these, and then we can reopen it. Of course, as we were saying before, you can only reopen a certificate if it has not been included in a project report. What does it mean? That if the lead partner has started the project report and has already included the certificate, if we need to reopen the certificate, then the lead partner must remove the certificate from the project report. I will show it later in detail, but yeah, then the lead partner removes the certificate from the report, and then we can reopen, and the controller can create the new external contract checklist. But the checklist must be there. It's mandatory to assure us also the eligibility. So yeah, always all these reopening things, always talk with the lead partner.
Lead partner can choose that he doesn't want to reopen the the report and say to the partner that you can submit for the next
Of course.
report. So every time you ask a reopening, it delay the procedure of the project report. So the payment will be done later on. So it's the project decision. And so that's why we made this session to inform you where are the key points to be aware and avoid this type of questions, queries, because it's not helping the smooth verification of the report.
Mm.
About co-financing, we will have public co-financing, but in the system it's settled on private co-financing. How this can be changed? This is the reason why we cannot submit the report. Okay, if you have changes in the application form, then you should alert your lead partner, who should tell to the GS that you have this type of problematic, because it means that the application form isn't correctly filled in, or there was a change. So it's not, I don't know, it could be a reason not to able to submit the report.
Yeah. Okay.
Currently, the question is actually now worked on with your lead partner.
Yeah.
So this is under process.
Okay, so
Going on, but yeah, the system always this has some kind of there's some pre-submission check that you must do before submitting the report, and this is one of the requirements. So in case you have some kind of an error like this, you can always contact your project officer of your project, and as in this case, then we will check it with the lead partner. It's a very specific issue. We also had some
so this is the question.
we also had some questions.
Yes, after we go to the
Okay.
results.
Okay.
It's for you, Axel. Can I read it for you? We checked the partner checklist and no explanation was provided for the counting system section. Since it is not possible to modify the checklist, should the controller issue a new one?
So if no explanation was provided, it depends. If the control has been already submitted, if it's everything certified, as I said, you can include nonetheless the certificate in the project report. Especially if you are in a hurry, you can include it in the project report, and then during our verification, we might ask for the missing response to those questions. If you still have time, then there's also the possibility of creating a new checklist. So in the section of checklists, to the right, sorry, there's another button that has like two papers. If you click on that icon, this allows to generate a new checklist that includes all the information from the previous one. And it's in draft, so you can add the missing information. This allows you not to create that checklist from zero. But I would only recommend to use that if you have time, because you never know what can happen. And of course, to do that, we will need to reopen the certificate. So it must take a long time. So it might take a long time. So if the only problem is the two questions missing, I think I would just submit it anyway, and we would check it on the JS during the verification. Thank you. Alessandro.
Yes, good morning. Thank you. The question relates to the attachments that could be necessary in respect to the national controller requests. The issue is the following. The national controller will ask us for payslips, for instance, but he didn't ask us to upload them on the GEMS platform, because he knows that this kind of document have sensitive information inside of it, so GDPR issues could arise. The question is, everything that the national controller asks us, it has to be put on GEMS or not? Do you need to see it or not?
To be sure, you should ask your national authority because they are the ones who define the audit trail. You have to check if they want for sure the documents to be on GEMS. Otherwise, it's because it's only at a national level, the definition of the audit trail.
Okay, so not the national controller, but our national contact point. They are the one who decides. So the other question is, they can see what's on GEMS.
They
I'm
can
talking
see
in this
us.
case about Tuscany region.
Yeah, they can.
They can. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question from Graziani. I don't see.
Hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Hi, good morning to everyone. Just a clarification about the contributions. We are a public entity, so we will expect to have public contribution, but still we have not received it. So during this first reporting period, there is like in the GEMS section where we should add the amount that we received so far. And we cannot skip apparently on GEMS. It cannot be placed at 0 value. So in that case, what we should have done there? We try to put 0.01 just to skip that amount, but our contribution will be received next year by the government. And this is the first question. The second question was related to the contract. You just suggested, in case there is no contract signed for an external expenditure, to indicate at least the contract, like in the description. And we did it for our national controller, but the expenses for this, we say, contract will be claimed next year. So there is any requirement do we have to refer in the contract, an external contract as well in the checklist? Thank you very much.
So I can reply to the first question. So for the first question, you can just put 0.01 or 1 or something like this, because it's true that this pre-submission check blocks you from submitting even the contribution. You include a 0. There's only 0, so you can just put another number. It's something that we will try to solve whenever we can. But by the moment, if you have this blockage, if you do the pre-submission check and you have this blockage, you just put the number 1 and it's fine. Once you will start receiving your co-financing, then your contribution, then you can start updating this section.
The second question, I was listening, but I didn't understand. Sorry, the question. Can you please repeat it?
Yes, it's about the contracts. And we should mention all the contracts that are linked with expenses, but we hadn't signed a contract with this specific expenses. It was related with our auditor. So there is not a contract because our national methodology in our national authority requires a letter of engagement. So it's not a formal, an official contract. We mentioned it as a contract, but there is no expenses linked yet to this contract. And we haven't mentioned this one in the checklist when there is the external expenses. We haven't, with our FLC, we didn't mention anything there. You know, the ID of the contract, even because there is no ID of the contract. It's just a letter of engagement certified by our national authority. And I don't know if we have to reopen this one or if will be asked by GS in the next future.
So you created a contract in GEMS, even though there wasn't a contract signed?
Yes, because it's not a contract. It's like a letter of engagement. We wanted just to show that our expenses on of our auditor will be linked to that specific line because our recurrent expenses.
I don't think that there's a problem with it. We will check it when we see the invoice. So when we check the invoice, then we will look after
Okay.
the external contract, and if we found that that wasn't a contract, then it's okay, then we won't go further.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's also a possibility to, or you describe in the description that there wasn't any contract signed, and yes, it's another way, so. it's
Thank you very
okay.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We need to keep going. And maybe there was like there was someone else who has raised a hand. Maybe the last thing, and then we go on because we are going a bit out of time. So please, quickly, very quickly, please.
Yeah, just a short question. Similar to this, we also inserted the invoices. It's not the contract. According to the procurement law, it is contract must be signed after more for the value more than 2.5 thousand. For Montenegro, I'm talking. So it is just invoice-based payment, but we attach the invoice like it is kind of contract because it is invoice is also from the law perspective the kind of contract. So we put that there for any case, just to make a link with the payment later on.
Okay, for GS side, we can agree with it, but it's up to your controller what he wants to see.
Yeah, we agreed with them
To
be
justify
seen
this
there.
expenditure, so we cannot provide more information on it, so.
Okay, thank you.
Controller will answer to you. Okay, we move on for the last session of the presentation. It will be quick, and then we can come back to your last round of questions.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
okay. So now we're going to the last stage, the project report that has to be submitted by the lead partner as part of the reporting package. Oh. There it is. So I will go quickly to the main issues. First, activity reporting. You know, there's this section that is common for full reporting and for partial reporting. That is the project report identification. It always has to be filled in, but there are some differences. So now that you are doing the partial reporting, we are not asking you for the target groups. The target groups must only be, information on the target group must only be provided during full reporting, and of course, making reference also to the period covered by the partial one. So once per year, let's say. I mean, if you want to include it just to keep track of it, it's fine. But when you will do your full reporting, it must cover all the target groups of the year. There's also the section project performance monitoring, where we ask you to talk in general about the evolution of the project during the period. And there's this question that says, please provide the carbon footprint analysis required in the project manual. As you see in there, this must only be provided during full reporting. During partial one, we only need the automatic reports that are generated or will be generated by the carbon footprint tool. Then this is only for full reporting. There are some sections during full reporting that you don't see now during the partial one, that I will go back to the previous one. There are those, you don't see them, but you will have new tabs that are concerned the reporting on outputs, results, and indicators. So during full reporting, as an anticipation, when you will have to report on each of the elements of your work plan, for outputs and deliverables, for key productions, we don't ask you numbers till the end of the project. So during the full reporting, if it's not the last reporting of the project, you only have to provide a description in this field that says progress in this period. No numbers till the last period, till the very end. That is when we will report all the all the indicators. So please, only a description. Then you will see for each of the elements of the work plan that there's an attachment icon down there. There you can upload your key deliverables and outputs once they are finished. And so this is a change in confront of what we were saying before, because before we asked you to submit your key productions on Basecamp, but now the thing is different. So once the key productions are finished, you must upload them during the full reporting in its corresponding section in GEMS. Of course, before doing that, you need to make sure that the key productions are up to the expectations of the program, up to the rules on communication and branding that you can find in the program manual. So please check the program manual, please check the requirements for the presentation of the key deliverables and outputs. And once everything is all right, you can upload it on GEMS during the full reporting. And then we are still working on it, but we're working in a procedure for analyzing, for evaluating those productions. And once we will validate them, they will go to our library of project productions. This procedure is totally independent of the project website. So you can publish on your website all productions in the moment that you want to do it. You don't want to wait for a validation in order to publish some of your key productions on your website. It's totally independent. This process of putting them on GEMS, it's only for our library of project results. In the future, in the next days, you will receive some indications from our communication unit about how to include your productions on your website. This will come later. Thank you. So another key issue, the section of list of partner certificates. So this is the section where the lead partner can decide which certificates will be included in this project report. Please pay attention to it because the system selects all the submitted certificates automatically. So actually, instead of selecting which ones are you including, you select which ones are you excluding. For example, there's an important point that for Spanish and Portuguese partners, the system doesn't wait for the national validation for it to allow you to include a certificate. But you can only certificate once the national validation has arrived for Spanish and Portuguese partners. And of course, this is when we were talking before about the reopening of the control certificate, we were saying that the lead partner should exclude the certificate from the project report before the reopening. We talk about this part, about this list of partner certificates. So if the lead partner wants a certificate to be reopened, it will have to enter in the list of partner certificates, exclude the certificate, and then the reopening will be possible. And yeah, of course, before including a certificate, you need to make sure that all the documents are correct, that all the documents of the control package are available, that the national authority of Spain and Portugal has provided also the requested documents. Yeah, you need to make sure that everything is all right. Everything that we talked before about the checklists, about the missing questions, all that needs to be checked by the lead partner before submitting the project report. So once the project report, once the lead partner has seen that everything is correct, and of course, always respecting the deadline. So at the end of the month, no matter how, the project report needs to be submitted.
Yeah. There was a question if there was no certified partner report, what should do the lead partner?
If it has to submit it on time, then we will see
Even there is no
there's no
expenditure, no,
for any partner.
yeah, that was a question.
So if no partner is declaring expenditures, you still have to provide the partner report, the project report, because they are the explanations on the evolution of the activities of the project. So you just provide it with the activity explanations.
Thank you.
So once everything is all right and always respecting the deadline, the lead partner needs to submit the project report on the system, and it also has to provide the payment claim that we have talked about earlier on. There's this section report exports where the lead partner can generate this payment claim PDF file, and then it takes this document and uploads it in the project report annexes section without signing. Just generate and automatically upload. There's another point that in this programming period, the lead partner doesn't apply corrections directly to the expenditures. So what happens if the lead partner sees that there are some ineligible expenditures and there are some corrections that need to be done? Then the lead partner has to inform us about those ineligible expenditures. And for that, we have created what we call the ineligible expenditure report. That in the future, it will be included in this report exports as the payment claim. But at the moment, this option is not available, so the lead partner can ask us for this document. Here, my colleagues Zsofia are going to explain to you this report. So 1 second, please. I will just change the screen sharing.
Thank you, Axel. I will just present you briefly how it looks like, how to fill in, because it's we have a recommendation and tips section in this area. So just very quickly, this is the report, ineligible expenditure report. It should be filled in by the lead partner if he recognize some expenditure which wasn't related to the project and already certified by the controller. The lead partner has not the possibility to remove expenditures, only certificates. So that's why we use this form to inform the GS to make this deduction during the verification of the project report. So it's very easy to understand the first section. You give the basic information of the project and the partner. By choosing the partner, you choose the percentage applied for the travel and accommodation declaring method. If it's flat rate, already almost all of you have chosen the flat rate. So, and this is important because later on the deduction of concerning the flat rate will calculated automatically in the Excel file. So here you can choose the information on which project report we are talking about and who is the person and what is its role in the program who identified some ineligible expenditure. This section only concerns when it's a control, it's not your case, it's when the national authority performs some additionally control. So, and we don't want you to sign either, just put your name and the date and the title of the reporting person. And this is the important slide. No, it's not slide. Okay, where you can enter the tab. Thank you. Where you can enter the data on the ineligible expenditure. We have this GEMS expenditure reference number, which begins always with an R. It's continues with the number of the partner reports and then the number of the expenditure. So please, for example, fill it like this. Okay, it means that it was in the first partner report, the 10th expenditure. You can choose the cost category based on the answer you give on the first tab, and then the amount which was included in the verification. So this is the declared amount. Okay, I just be here. You should put the ineligible amount of the expenditure. And just check how to do it. Yes, you should enter it in a positive way, and then the Excel will calculate automatically the total eligible amount after this control. We have a strict list of the type of errors, so please choose one which should describe the situation. If you think that this listed 14 case, it's not covered your case, then you can choose other. And in this case, you please provide comments on the issue. So here the lead partner can list the ineligible expenditure. And on the last tab, this information will fill in automatically. We will see the total calculation. Yes, we didn't choose cost category, so the amount wasn't there. So I choose the staff costs, 100 euros staff cost ineligible. And in this case, the Excel calculates automatically the 15% officer administration corresponding to the staff cost, and the 22%, the 22 euros travel accommodation, and in total we will deduct 137 euros. So that was very quickly, but the project officer are at your disposal if you had do this in first time. So that was just a quick overview, so you know what is it about. Thank you.
So back again to the slides. 1 second, please.
Can I ask one question?
We'll try it now. It's very, very quick. We will finish and then we go to all the questions because otherwise, welcome. So as we were saying, the lead partner, in case it detects its ineligible expenditure, it fills in this file that Sofia just showed you and uploads it in the project report annexes together with the payment claim. All this, of course, the uploading of the payment claim and uploading of the report, everything has to be done in the deadline. So by the end of September. This doesn't come afterwards. Everything needs to be there at the end of September. So why it's not? There's a few additional points of attention on reporting. Very quickly, as I said before, if a partner cannot declare expenditures, they can be declared afterwards in future project reports. And also if there's no, if the national controller cannot generate the control certificate and report on time, it can be included in future reporting periods. The national controller can also park expenditures when analyzing your list of expenditures. Maybe some expenditure doesn't have enough documents, it can park it, so you can include it in the following, or whenever you want, the following project partner report. They appear automatically. So when you will start, for example, if your controller parked an expenditure in period 1, once you will go and create the partner report of period 2, you will see there the possibility to include this expenditure that was parked in the previous period. Then the reopening, we already talked about it. It is mandatory to use the official languages of the program in GEMS. So either English or French needs to be used. No other language, please, because not everyone can understand. Here we don't know all the languages of the program. Key note points. A submitted partner report can be reopened, but this doesn't allow the partner to add or remove any expenditure. So you cannot remove the expenditure line. Also, the exchange rate cannot be changed. But you can change the inside information of this expenditure line. So you can change the amounts, the description, even the category, but you cannot add or remove any expenditure. But these changes only can take place if we are reopening the most recently created report. What does it mean? That if we reopen a partner report, but the partner has already created another report later, even if it's in draft, nothing will be possible to modify in the expenditure. In that case, the partner would have to remove the draft for allowing for a modification in a reopened partner report. I take the opportunity again to insist that this is a totally extraordinary procedure that only can be done until under very, very well justified circumstances. Then the other no points, are quite clear. It is not possible to include costs that have been paid out after the end of the reporting period. They can be included in future reports. And also the possibility to reopen a project report exists even after the deadline. Of course, it's only under very well justified reasons. And once the verification of the Joint Secretariat has started, I will explain it to you. It's another report on the system. When this verification has started, this reopening of the project report cannot be done anymore. So you must be in close contact with your project officer for all this, for coordinating all this. So the GES verification. Once everything has been submitted, we will start the verification of your reporting package. We will start a verification of the completeness, as I was saying before, see that all the documents are there, of the activities, checking if your activity performance is are up to the expectations, and also the analysis of your expenditures, the analysis of the financial analysis of your performance, let's say. It's at this moment that we can add the corrections that are proposed by the lead partner, but also in case the national authority of Spain and Portugal, they propose corrections to the expenditures, we will also add them in this phase. This verification of your reporting package is a risk-based verification. This risk-based verification is defined on the program manual. There are some key points that we consider risk points, and we will base our verification on those points. In case there's any kind of doubt, we will send you a document like this, like the one that you can see in this slide. We will send you a Word document with a list of questions that you have to reply to. the verification of the expenditures is 100% carried out through GEMS. So once we will start our verification, you will say that the status of your project report changes to verification ongoing. And then you can check our verification work. If we have not finished our verification work, you will only see this section, verification communication. That is a section for us to attach documents and for you to attach documents. So in this section, we will attach the document with the questions that I presented you before, and you will also add your answers in this section. So you will have to provide the document that we sent to you with the replies to the questions, plus all the attachments that might have been required by your project officer during the verification of your expenditures. Here, please keep in mind always this slide. You have the title, the format of the title that you should put in the documents. And yeah, we have activated the possibility of sending notifications to the lead partner whenever a document is attached. You can activate on GEMS the possibility to receive your notification on your mailbox. Otherwise, you will also see them in your main page of GEMS. So once all the questions have been replied, we will and everything is correct, we apply the required corrections. We can also detect some ineligibilities and apply our own corrections. And then once everything is clear, we will finish our verification. And then you will see yet another section, that is this overview section. This section will only appear after our verification is over. And here, GEMS sums up all the information about, all the financial information about the partner report. So all our deductions, and what is the quantity of expenditures that have been approved, have been verified. All the information, you will find it there. Of course, this is an important point. Once you submit the project report, we start our verification. There's the rules of the program establish 80 days for the payment, but then of working days for the payment of the expenditures. This period of 80 days is interrupted in the moment in which we send you a Q&A for clarifying some missing points. And then this interruption finishes when you send us your responses. Then when you reply all the questions, then the period of 80 days or 80 working days runs again. So a few key information on payments. Zsofia?
Yes, this is only one slide. So this is a new obligation for this programming period that we have to collect the beneficial owners data for each partner whose are not public entities. So I do know that you already submitted provided information, but if you didn't, then please be sure that for this reporting period you fulfill this obligation. So I repeat, it's only for non-public entities, the private entities. For ease the payment process and our verification, please be aware that we have a single bank account principle. It means that all indirect fund reimbursement must be made to a single bank account, even a partner is involved in several Euromed projects. So it means that you should give the bank account for payment which you already given in the first project you participate. So it's not possibility to have more bank account for the Euromed projects. And with the accounting authority for the payment, we created codes for each partner. We call it the partner code for payment. And in this summer break, we modified almost all of your application forms to enter this code in the application form partner identity section. So if you see that the version of your application form moved one forward, this is the reason why it happened. So there were some products which were in modification. For this project, we couldn't proceed with this modification, but we will do it when the modification is finalized. So this is just a small reminder what are the crucial elements for the payment. Thank you. And now we
Now,
are coming
thank you. Now, question time.
the last time.
The last question time. So, thank you very much.
So I had a question related, thank you for presentation, related to the ineligible costs. So in this table, I can see that it was presented just for one partner, but like a lead partner, we have to check all of them. So could happen, we will upload one document per partner if is needed. How I understand that template. List of eligible costs.
Sorry, could you please repeat your questions?
Ineligible cost, eligible cost.
Ah, okay. Ineligible cost.
Yes, so in the template presented Excel sheet, Excel document, it was done, prepared for one partner only.
Yes, exactly.
So
Yes.
if we want to report ineligibility for, let's say, two partners, so we'll upload two documents, one per
Yes.
partner.
Yes,
Okay.
because the travel and accommodation cost can vary based on the country of the partner. So yes, in that case, you should provide per partner. Yes, and we had a question on now I profit. We had a question on ineligible amount in the chat. What happened with ineligible amount? It remains for future reports. I will say in general, yes, because it was detected before the payment has done for the partner, but when another control and irregularity was detected and the expenditure was already reported to the commission, the amount may not be reusable. Okay, so when you make a correction before you submit it to the GS, it will be always it remains always in use for you. You should be very aware when we have a irregularity or fraud. In this case, we are not so nice. But when it's just about the errors which you correct, then this amount is reusable. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we park the expenditures as the same way that the controller can do it. So in that case, if we decide to park the expenditure, it could appear in the following reporting period automatically for you to add it and modify any necessary information.
There was a question on finalized financial report. How much time it takes until receiving the payment? I guess my colleague answered, but it's 80 working day if there is no question on our side on the project report. We try to do our best with the accounting authority that the payments will be done in this deadline. So, but it's up to you also what is the quality of the project report.
Yeah, let's say if we send you the Q&A, just try to send to reply to all the questions and provide the good information as soon as possible so we can go on with it. Then at the end, it's also another program body who is making the payment. So we need to send the payment order so they can manage this issue.
Yes, I don't know if you have still question, you can raise your hand. And I just want to share with you the message of Sophie Skravelis. If there are unanswered questions, please ask them to your lead partner. If he cannot answer directly, she will transfer it to your project officer. So don't worry if you have still questions, because we finished the session. So if you had to leave, don't worry, we are open for business every day.
There's a couple of questions here. You mentioned that there's a new code. Is there any action that we should take regarding this? No.
No, please do not touch it. This is the most important thing, that we use this code to identify your entity for the payment. So if you made any modification with it, your payment won't be done.
Another question. Thank you for this very interesting presentation. Thank you for listening. A question on payment modality. Payment requests should be initiated by the lead beneficiary or by each partner. Payment request, I mean, there's no definition of payment request. There's the payment claim, that it's a document that needs to be provided by the lead partner. So it's the lead partner who provides this payment claim. This doesn't concern the partners. You just do your partner report, and then the controller does the certification, and then the system will allow the lead partner to include your certificate in the project report. And
Yes, we have.
Thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for this, and thank you for the presentation. If I may, it has to do with the question you have just read on payment claim, because we have until now received only the preparation cost, but not the funds for our reporting in 2023. So this is why I made this question, if it's something that we need to follow with the coordinator, or if there were delays in payments for the 2023 reported expenditure. Thank you.
There has been a delay due to technical reasons, because the accounting authority has its own informatics system, and the migration of information between GEMS and the informatics system was not totally ready. So the accounting authority is working in order to provide the payments as soon as possible, but at the end it escapes from our hands as Joint Secretariat. We have sent the payment order. We're in constant contact with the accounting authority, and we'll try to make our most for the payments to arrive.
The payments are ongoing, so what we can tell you that for the next period it will be quicker. Okay, so because the IT environment improved, so we will be also quicker for the next period.
Okay, thank you very much. So it is normal that we haven't yet received the payment.
Yes.
It's an overall delay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know in order to arrange to do our internal planning. Okay. Thank you very much.
The good thing is that this should go smooth afterwards. So we'll see.
Thank you. That is really good to know. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So Ilaria Montoni.
Connection issues. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I put a question on the chat concerning target groups, because I know that even if it's not requested for this project report, maybe could you provide more details?
Yes.
Should we indicate the names of each organization that we reach and the source of verification, as for other Interreg project?
So as you saw with the with the application form, we actually were not asking for a specific number, but everything in a description field. So it's kind of the same thing. So there's a description field on GEMS where you just put the name of the organizations and how they have been reached, how they have been reached for you, and how it is linked to your activities. There's no other, by now, there's no other document that you need to provide regarding this.
Okay.
You just put all the information in the
And
description field.
if we reach the same organization into different period, do we have to report in each period how we reach the organization? It's just necessary to report it once to avoid the double counting.
Exactly. Only once.
Okay.
So avoid double counting.
Perfect.
So as I was saying, make sure, as it's only on full reporting, when you will do the next project report, please include also the target groups of this first period. Because this was only partial
Okay.
reporting and we were not asking you for the target groups. So in the second project report, you will have to include all the target groups reached since the start of your project.
Thank you.
Welcome. So, last question, and we are done.
Okay.
Maybe Michela Pozzi, as LP would have been asked by a partner to reopen the report, which has been submitted but not certified yet. They have added actual travel expenses. Well, this is a very specific question, so I would recommend you to contact your project officer, which will analyze the situation and will tell you about, because this is a very specific, issue with the travel expenditures. I'm sorry, but I think it's better, and we're running a bit out of time. So thank you very much all for your participation. A couple of recommendations: just read the manual. Read the manual. Also take a look at other seminars, at other, like the lead partner seminar that we did in the past. Take a look also on the guide on reporting of expenditures that we just published on the website, and it includes step by step on GEMS how to declare all the expenditures. And of course, for any doubt, here we are for you. Always through the lead partner. You can send us any question, and we will try to reply as soon as we can. So thank you very much, and good luck for the end of this reporting. And you can do it. We are sure of it. And we stay at your disposal. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
What's up?